Shalom and good rising to those who are going to come across this reading. This is the rising reading for May 1st. Even though today is the 2nd, I pulled these for yesterday, but I think that these energies could very well be still going on. And it's so funny. I've been saying rising readings, but I've been feeling like Spirit has been showing that this energy that I've been picking up on is I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I want to say it's been for the month. Holy Spirit, you are definitely welcome here. Ancestors who are righteous, who speak truth accurately, who are here for the highest good of myself and for those who are attached to me, I invite you here. And I thank you. I invite the ancestors, and angels who are warriors to protect me at this time. And I'm asking that my energy be cleared right now so that I be a total vessel. Alright. I love the way this smells, y'all. I can't ever. Thank you, Spirit. Alright, this is going to be long, so I got to hop right in. I'm going to go ahead and do the signs that are attached or this reading may resonate with most. I gotta fix this camera so y'all don't see certain things. Okay. Signs that may most resonate with this in any area of the chart: Leo, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Aries, Cancer, Pisces, Aquarius, and Libras. Now that we're done with that, let's move that back over there. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Spirit. I appreciate you. I welcome you into this place. Have your way. Provide the insight that I need. Okay, guys. So the first card that came out upon asking what energies were going on for yesterday and just what energies were surrounding us, period. From the Angels and Ancestors deck, I got the arrow. It's a warrior symbol. So a lot of us, I feel like we may be aware of this, those who may resonate with this, but we may be aware that we are somehow spiritual warriors. We realize that we have to fight for some things, okay? Anyway, the first card, though, before I move to the arrow, I'm so sorry. When I was originally shuffling, the eagle card showed itself, but I wasn't sure because I had just, I feel like it was just in my head that I was speaking the intentions, and the eagle card fell out when I was shuffling based off of that. So I just felt like the need to read it anyway. But both of these cards are from the warrior section, so I think that they're both going to apply. So I'm going to read the understanding of the eagle first, since it was the very first card that fell out, and then I'll read arrow because that was the second after I reshuffled upon saying everything that I needed to say. So the eagle says, see from a higher perspective, and the message is to look at things from a different angle. Fly higher and look for new possibilities. In animal medicine, both Native American and Celtic, the eagle draws his power and strength from the sun. He is a powerful, strong, and courageous guide who is able to see for miles. He approaches all things with intelligence, grace, and poise, and has the capacity to make a plan from a higher space before putting it into action. When the eagle card appears in a reading, it shows that you have a real ability to take things higher and to move beyond the limitations of your ego and your selfish desires. I think that's really beautiful. And I'm grateful that that be the first thing. I think it's because whatever situation some of us may find ourselves in, it may really be stretching us. And I feel like this is mental as well. This is mental. Mental. We are having to fight a war in our minds. And I think that we're being called to rise above whatever it is that we feel that we desire that could not be considering everyone and all sides and all perspectives. We're being encouraged to put that to the side and rise above that and see things from different perspectives. By different, I just heard in my head the phrase, the one that you don't want to think about. So I'm going to leave that with that. The one that you actually don't want to consider, think about it. And think about the positives that could come from it instead of the negative. Because it seems like you don't got a problem. We don't have a problem with the negative reasons why we don't want something or why we feel something is not going to work for us. And when you're already against something, it's very hard to see the possible positive. So, yeah, Spirit said, think about that other option. Think about it from the other perspective that you did not want to consider. Boom, I'm leaving that alone. Going back to Arrow here. It says, surround yourself with protective energy. This came out in another reading and from a whole different deck before. But this is definitely for the light workers. This is for the light workers. And light workers are warriors, whether you know that or not. So I feel like these messages are for those who are fellow light workers. Okay, so it says, surround yourself with protective energy. The message is, surround yourself with positive people and experiences and environments that make you feel safe. Call on your angels, guides, and ancestors to bring you protection. Arrows have long been revered as symbols of protection, as many native peoples would use the bow and arrow as a weapon of defense. When an arrow appears in meditation or dreams or an oracle reading, it is a sign that you need to protect yourself and what is important to you, because not everybody has the same intentions as you do. This doesn't mean that people are intentionally wanting to hurt you, but they could be careless in their choices and actions, and I want to add towards you, but they could that could affect you. There are energies around you that could lower your vibration, and it's important that you become aware of them and aren't brought down by them. The extended message. If you are in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, then trust your intuition. There are energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals or with kindness. Follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or to step out of this situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, now is the time to do so. In any event, this is a time to call on the energy of protection and to place yourself in a space that feels safe. Hands down, this resonates. The eagle one resonates and this resonates. For me, this resonates personally because I feel like I do need to get away from low vibrational energies and get to myself, to deal with myself, to only have to hear the voices that are coming from within me. So some of my sisters and brothers could be feeling like that as well. So I feel basically a lot of us are in the space where we're realizing that our intuition has been telling us that we need to protect ourselves and that we need to create an atmosphere of protection, of safety, of calm, of peace, of clarity so that we can think straight, so that we can be able to fight appropriately. Some of us could be in committed unions where we're thinking about this. And listen, the thing is, it may not be that you're not supposed to be with a person, but you might have to do certain things that are unconventional in order for you guys to make it, to be honest. And I mean that on a spiritual level for you and for that person. Mm-hmm. You have to do that. So for some of you guys, and for those who are not in a committed union, you just have to protect your energy. You could be dealing with someone who doesn't have the best interest of you at heart. And it's not that they're wicked. but they got their own low vibrational issues that they probably are not tending to, or they haven't tended to. Maybe they're unaware, and it is affecting you. And so you are feeling that. You're feeling it. You're seeing it in your dreams. Your spirit on the inside is telling you, and you don't want to make the decision to protect your energy because because what that may look like may scare you. This could be with friends, family, or lovers. Okay? And when I say lovers, that means either married folk. That means for me, married people. But I know in this world, people do what they want. So take lovers as that may resonate with you. But we are being, this is the sign. Like if you've been thinking that you need to protect yourself and that you need to get away and that you need to retreat, this is your answer. You do. The next card that came out, this came from the Romance Angels deck, and it was religious factors. And it says, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and your spiritual path. And what I heard most strong for this is that the reason why some of us have not made this choice to protect our energy and to do what we need to do to protect that energy, it is being influenced by our spiritual path. Now listen, you may not feel that you're spiritual right now, but you could have grown up believing that, oh, you're supposed to be married. You could have grown up in any one of these organized religious beliefs, okay? And I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. I'm just saying it's what's affecting you making the decision to protect yourself. In this setup that I have, this is the first card, which always talks about what's going on internally for us. This is my second card, which always talks about what is affecting our internal thoughts and feelings. So some of us could be thinking about the fact that, oh, what is it going to look like if I'm in a committed union, for example. If I'm in a committed union and I'm hearing that I need to protect my energy, and you've been getting the feelings and the thoughts that you need to disconnect yourself from your spouse, not because you don't want to be with them anymore, but because you need to protect yourself. And by protecting yourself, I'm talking about your energy, your mind, your spirit. You are being told that you need to get to a place and a space where you can be with yourself, with spirit. Maybe you, like for me, I've been instructed that I need to get to a place where I'm by myself. Not that I'm no longer in the union as of now, but that I'm by myself, that I have more time to spend alone than having to be concerned with my husband. That's just me. But I'm just saying religious beliefs and systems are affecting making that decision. You could be concerned, like, what is it going to look like? Or, oh my gosh, are people gonna, is it, even if you're not worried about what other people may think, you could be concerned that the way that you've been brought up, like, am I gonna make the Most High unhappy with this decision that I make? Am I gonna go against the Most High? And for a lot of us, we are very spiritual people. We want to please the Most High, so that is something that truly bothers us. But I honestly don't feel like it is. And I'm not saying that just because I'm in this situation. I'm saying that, first of all, with religion and organized religion for that matter, most people are working off of opinion, or they're working off of limited knowledge that they were given. Okay? Each one of us have to work out our own soul's salvation. I truly believe that comes from us sitting with self, getting to know spirit for self, listening to the messages or the answers and responses that spirit gives us to the questions that we ask. Those are our answers, the thoughts and ideas that come. And if something that you have asked spirit is in direct opposition to what religious beliefs that you grew up in are, I'm here to say that I believe that you should trust what spirit is directly telling you about a situation over what you may have always traditionally grown up to believe. And I say that to say, this is spirit's direct communication with you. This is the Most High's direct communication with you. I do think we're supposed to try spirits and test spirits out, ask for confirmations, but once you keep hearing the same thing though over and over and over again, and you can see you can hear or you can visualize the benefits of what it could look like if you were to move in that direction, and it is positive and uplifting, then I'm sorry, I think you should listen to that. And know that I'm talking to myself. Moving on. We got a lot of information here. There's a lot of energy, so I got to go a little faster to me. All right, so that's that with that. We've read all that for the arrow and religious factors. Also, just to go on it, just to speak from another perspective with the religious factors, you could be dealing with someone where you guys, like, let's just say you may have started off believing the same things, but now because of the spiritual awakenings and shiftings that are happening, now you may not believe the same way anymore. And so you may be at this crossroads of whether or not you should remain with this person or not, because you guys are no longer in the same space. You know, it could be a question that you have. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you to trust your intuition. Trust what spirit has been showing you. Trust what you've been seeing and feeling within your own spirit. That is more true than any doctrine out there. What spirit speaks directly to us, we must be obedient to. That's what all our ancestors who are considered righteous had to do. Abraham is coming to my mind right now. Abraham grew up in Egypt pretty much. Kemet, whatever other name there, Sumerian, whatever kind of name there could be for it. He grew up in that area, in that era, and area where so many different religious things were already being practiced. And yet the Most High God, out of all the gods, spoke to him, and he had to begin to walk away and drop all the types of things that he had knowledge of. And it doesn't mean that what he had knowledge of wasn't true or wasn't real, but it obviously wasn't what the Creator had in mind for Abraham. And when Abraham sat with self a lot and spoke to spirit a lot, the spirit instructed him on what to do for himself and his future family, those who were attached to him. This is bigger than you and I. And so, yes, the need to protect our space and our energy is so important. If spirit tells you that you need to go get by yourself somewhere, even if you're in a committed union or in a relationship with somebody, I don't care if you live with your family. If spirit tells you that you need to isolate yourself for some time, then by darn it, you need to find a way to do that. Now, it's easier said than done. Because when you grow up in a faith that says, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, or it seems like that's what the faith tells you to do, then there's where the struggle comes in. There's where the fight or the war or the crossroad comes in. I believe we'll be fine. Your intuition is going to be very powerful at this time, and that is what you must listen to. If you've been having dreams, listen. You got to listen to spirit here. Spirit trumps religious factors. Spirit trumps religious doctrines. That's what I mean to say. Spirit trumps religious doctrines. Why? Because spirit is what religious doctrines are trying to be. Spirit is what religious doctrines are actually trying to make sense of. And they can be in error. Moving on. The next card that came out when I was shuffling for this reading was Singing and Dancing from the Angel Therapy deck. 2 cards came out from here. Visualize Success was the second. Singing and dancing, it says express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical powers of music and movement. First of all, this is so beautiful. I know that the spirit gave me that this right here can help us also lift up our vibrations as well. That's number one. But number two, something that spirit just brought to my memory is that for some of us, we could be getting heart songs where or even sing, or music and songs lyrics can be coming to our mind randomly, and really what's happening is they're giving us direction, or they're telling us something. They're the answer to something that we need to pay attention to. And that's with the heart songs, or even with notable music that you listen to that you know, these messages are going to mean something a little bit more to you, because they're going to be speaking to something for you. The dancing, I feel like Doing these types of things help to open you up. It helps to make you positive, make you loving, make you open to receive whatever spirit has to say. Which is the reason why I'm getting an image of ancient African peoples who used to dance. I'm hearing about King David, when he danced. Like, all of these things literally, they free us somehow. They open us up somehow to hear from the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So moving on. Yeah, a lot of us are doing that already, and spirit, I think, is also encouraging us to do this. Like I said, the heart song, I just was reminded of one that I happened to sing, and it was talking about ready for change. I'm ready for change. I don't know how it's coming. I don't know how I'll get there, but I'm ready. That means something for me. I don't know exactly what that's going to take. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I feel like that was my spirit's way of revealing something to me, that change is coming and that I need to open up myself to it. Visualize success. And I feel like these two cards right here, they are part of our advice. Okay. Visualize success. It says, see yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in a positive outcome. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, okay, it could be work, it could be a relationship. Again, relationship, be it with friends, family, or romantic partner. But I feel like this is for us. This visualizing success is more about for us. It's about bringing clarity for us. It's about also helping us to get clear about what it is that we want. In order to visualize something, you have to think about it in a way that brings clarity enough to see it, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Whatever situation this may apply to for you, you are going to have to think whatever thoughts that you need to. This is a part of manifestation as well. A lot of us are beginning to manifest. We're beginning to take our powers of manifestation way more seriously. We're putting it into practice. So visualizing success is very, very, very important in manifestation. So you need this time anyway to protect yourself so that you can visualize success, whatever that may look like for you. If you're surrounded by somebody who's got their expectations on you, or they're always maybe making it seem like you're not doing well enough, or whatever the case may be, you need to do more, whatever the case may be, they're putting their thoughts on you. You need to get into a space where you can think and where your spirit can speak to you about what it is that you desire. For real, for real. And that way, so that you can begin to visualize that in your head, so that it can come to you. This is really important. This is really important. With going back to the religious factors, again, all in all, I feel like this is about, we need to actually step away from thinking about the religious folks, thinking religiously at all at this point, and we really need to follow spirit. Not saying that spirit is not a part of this. Spirit is. I believe we are being shifted from religious thought patterns, religious ideas, religious doctrines into operating with spirit. Okay, so I went to the Divine Feminine Oracle deck and I was asking Spirit, what divine feminine principles were we already operating in, or could we operate in at this time for our highest good and for the highest good of those attached to us? And I was only asking for one card. I'm usually always only asking for one card that will most describe what we need, but for whatever reason, sometimes we get two, sometimes we get more. We got three, and I decided to take all three of them. The first one that I wound up seeing was Sekhmet. And it says, the Red Lady, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. This talks about us being able to stand in the power and authority that, okay, sometimes it's perceived that women shouldn't speak up about things, or that they can't be angry and still be loving or gentle or respectful, when that's not true. We can righteously, in our anger, express ourselves, and it still be true, it still be right, and it not be wrong. I'll read the understanding of this, but that was just me off the top of my head. Some of us may not be speaking something that we need to speak for fear of looking bad in front of our. I feel like this is about people in unions, okay? Some of us are not speaking up where we need to. Could be for fear of looking bad or looking unladylike or looking like we don't care. But spirit is saying, no, you need to say this. It's okay for you to be strong in this way. It's okay for you to voice what is true. There is something that is unjust that is going on that you just cannot be quiet about. And you shouldn't have to. That's not spirit that'll tell you to allow some form of injustice to continue just so you will not rock the boat. That's just fear. And the Most High did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, strength, and of a sound mind. We have wisdom. We've got the spirit. We know that something is off. And it's okay to speak about it. So let me put that down for now until I get the booklet. I don't know why I did this. I don't even need this. So I'm going to put this little booklet away. I also did not need the Doreen Angel. I didn't need this one either. Thank you, Spirit. I just wanted to be prepared just in case. So let me read that one about segment now. So with segment, it says, when your soul selects her card, holy rage, sacred anger, and positive aggression. These states of being are crucial aspects of the divine feminine. It's the female power that actually ends wars, that brings home missing children, that seeks justice for the earth and for those who cannot defend themselves. It says the feminine has been far too long, the feminine has far too long been disassociated from rage and anger. If we can't embody the fiery emotion of anger, it often festers or expresses itself in subversive, manipulative ways, or it leaves us anxious and totally frustrated. I can identify with that. Positive aggression, which is acting with love on behalf of what breaks our heart or enrages us, is what allows us to actually become agents of change. Oh my God, this is for me. This is for me. Guys, okay, and not just me. I know this might be for somebody else. Okay, I have to speak on this real quick. Some of us are afraid to do that thing about protecting ourselves and ushering in the change that is going to have to come in a relationship. I feel like it's because some of us know that it means walking away from someone who we adore, walking away from someone who we truly love and we believe we're supposed to be with. But right now, we cannot be with them at this time because change has to take place not only in us but also in them. When we do what we're being called to do in righteous, holy anger and positive aggression, it may not affect no change right away. Okay? And I'm not saying to do this so that you can see the benefits of it immediately. But what I am saying is that your spirit has been telling you, I know my spirit has, honey. Your spirit's been telling you that you're going to have to walk away from a situation. And it's not because you don't love. It is because you love that you have to walk away. And you have to focus on yourself. And you have to get into a place where you can be the vessel of the Most High that you need to be. Work on your house. I know my spirit has been telling me that I have to work on my own house, that I cannot assist my mate with his house. That's something he has to do, and if he does want assistance, he's going to have to ask for it from me. No, we can't as women force any change to happen. What has to happen is our behaviors, our pattern, our conversation has to change. Conversation means behavior, actions. Segment is also talking about some change being made. You see that? Change is going to be made when we move on this holy rage that we have. This anger. Instead of trying to manipulate the person that we love, him or her, be it family member, friend, or romantic partner, instead of us trying to manipulate, and by manipulate, I'm talking about we're really angry, so we discuss what we're angry about in hopes that it'll change them. And then when it doesn't, we're angry. We may act out. That's not going to help the situation at all. This is so beautiful. I had to say that. Let me get back to let me get back to it. Okay. Or it leaves us anxious and frustrated. I know I've been feeling literally all of this. It says positive aggression, which is acting with love on behalf of what breaks our heart or enrages us, is what allows us to actually become agents of change to better our lives and the world around us. Segment wants us to come face to face with our true strength. Power doesn't come from passive aggressive behaviors. We don't have to fear expressing our anger directly to an institution or even a person who is acting unjustly. Segment wants us to see that anger is an essential emotion. And segment is the sacred call to move that anger from pure emotion into conscious action. That's so beautiful. Some of us are just being angry, but we're not doing anything about it. We're not doing anything about it. And us not actually doing something about it is us choosing to be passive aggressive, which is what results in our manipulative and low vibrational behaviors and actions and responses, instead of operating out of our spirit, which is what we truly desire to do. It's because we're not speaking up and because we're not doing what our spirit is telling us to do. She wants us to act with conviction and from love. Like, remember when I mentioned for some of us who have to leave a partner, we're not leaving because we are upset with them. We're leaving because we are convicted. Our spirit has been convicted that this is not okay for us. Whoever this may resonate with, I know it's resonating with me first and foremost. But our spirit has told us we got to leave because the situation at hand is not healthy for us. That is our conviction, moving us to action. And we love the person. So because I love you, I'm going to leave, because I don't want to operate in this low vibrational energy with you, because that's just harming everyone. She wants us to create the healthy boundaries that we need so that we aren't injured again and again. I'm not playing with spirit. Come on. Thank you so much, spirit. This is amazing. Or so that we can free ourselves from a destructive pattern that it is actually time to end. We have a divine right to draw a sacred circle around us at all times. The protection we invoke for ourselves and others helps move us from feeling helpless to taking loving action. Oh my God! This is everything. This is so beautiful. So beautiful. And then the bookmark here says, show the world the real you. I'm not finna play. I'm not finna play. I think that's beautiful. Anyway, something that spirit wants us to think about. Where can we create loving boundaries in our lives? That's beautiful. Thank you, spirit. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Some of us as light workers, we've always had issues with creating boundaries. Always. It started with our family. We learned it first either from our parents, mother or father, sisters or brothers. It started at home. Whatever home was for you. I don't care if you were adopted. I don't care if you were abandoned. I don't care if your parents were there or if you had a single parent home or some state representative or whatever. Whatever it was, it started at home in your youth. All right, the next card that came up, that spirit shared was Perpetua. As soon as I could pick her up. Perpetua. It says, the saint of authenticity. I am my authentic self in all circumstances. That spoke to me, period, because some of us are not being true to ourselves to keep these relationships. Like I said, be it friend, family, or romantic partner. We decided to do something to please somebody else. And as a result, betraying ourselves. or betrayed ourselves. But I betrayed and betraying, because some of us betrayed ourselves at the initial time that we had the opportunity to be authentic to self, right? And true to ourselves. And then we have been continuing in that pattern this entire time with the connection. I believe Spirit is calling us to be our authentic selves. Hence the reason why even that bookmark says, where was the bookmark? What was it? I think that was with Segment. The bookmark said, show the world the real you. The world a lot of times usually revolves around the people who matter to us. So at this time, your world could actually be your romantic partner. Your world could be your family. Your world could be your friends right now. Your world could be a job right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, moving forward, Spirit is definitely like, you need to get true to who you are. You need to show yourself. In the most positive way, though. This is not about being rude. That's where Segment is coming in. This is not about being just angry or passive aggressive. You think you speaking up for yourself, but you really not. You really more so lashing out. No. Set the healthy boundaries that you need. Protect yourself like Spirit said. And do this out of love, not because you're angry and you just want somebody to feel bad or you want to manipulate a situation. No. Do this for your peace. Do this for you to become grounded. Do this to become more of who Spirit says you are. This is beautiful. This is coming, you guys. I see this as coming. I see this as coming. I'm getting so excited. I don't know what to do. This is coming. It's like as soon as you make the decision, this is such a confirming reading so far for me. Spirit spoke to me about this through another person. But anyway, when you take the practical steps to surround yourself with protection, that means calling on your ancestors, calling on the Spirit of the Most High to assist you with that. Not only are you going to speak about finally the injustice that you're dealing with in a positive, loving way, you're going to take the action to protect yourself. Like, it's like Spirit is going to give you what you need to do to be an agent of change in your life and in your relationship. Okay? And once you do that, you are going to be operating in your authenticity. And that's going to lead you to be more authentic and more authentic, which is going to change your inauthenticity. I don't know if that's a real word. I can't remember right now. But basically, where you were once not being true to yourself, once you take these steps, you're going to start opening up and you're going to be true with yourself. And it's going to continue. And you're going to live in a place of authenticity. A lot of us, authenticity is important to us. But yet we sitting up here not being real right now. But it's coming. And it is solely based upon our decision to do what we need to do for ourselves to be protected, for our mind to be clear and at peace. Once you do that, your true self will be slowly revealed, or even quickly for some people. You're going to feel like, I feel like you're going to exhale and you're going to be like, oh my God, yes. And the lifestyle that you begin to walk into and lead, the atmosphere that you begin to create around yourself, the people that you begin to have connections with, they're going to be more in alignment with who you truly are. You better get this. You better get this. All right, let me continue to read what it says here. It says, when your soul selects her card, when we find the courage to be true to who we are, a vitality returns to us. A voice that's both moving and compelling simply because it is authentic. Saint Perpetua suggests that there is no greater power than choosing to remain our true, authentic selves in all circumstances. She's that person who remained loyal to her soul, and she urges us through her example to embrace the power of being authentic right now. Even in the face of death, she courageously held fast to her truth that she was a follower of Christ. And her right hand reveals the Christ mudra. She also reminds us that journal writing can be a sacred act of returning to ourselves. So for me, that means some of us need to be keeping a journal, of listening to the soul voice inside us, and of going inward to find our answers. Oh my God, this is so much confirmation. So much confirmation. Didn't we say that a little bit earlier in this reading? That we needed to get to a space where we can hear from our spirit to receive the answers that we needed. I'm done. Um, Perpetua is a call to a writing practice, even if it's just to record our dreams each morning. The inner voice that greets us as we write strengthens our authenticity. That voice becomes a light, a fire that calls to us and claims us as we dare to live out its truth. So, something that Spirit wants us to consider and think about at this time is, what is the truest statement I can say about who I am? Thank you, Spirit. And then a random card that I pulled to bookmark it from the Moonology deck says, have faith in your dreams. Guys. I feel like that's speaking to the fact that a lot of us have some dreams, some callings that we believe we're supposed to be. And you know what? The people that we could be surrounded by at this time may not be really supportive of that in a way that we feel that we desire, which it doesn't make them wrong and us right. I'm just saying. For some of us, we could be being held back because of trying to remain in a relationship or a union. Not saying that we're not supposed to be in the union, but if the person has that much influence where they could be keeping you, or you could be, they can't nobody keep us from nothing. We are allowing someone to keep us back from something. And I feel like Spirit is saying, have faith in your dreams. Hold your vision. Let it move you to action. And that's going to all be a part of showing the world the real you. That was also from the Moonology deck. All the cards bookmarking these are from the Moonology deck, and with the way that the pattern I've seen so far with these bookmark cards, I don't doubt that this last card is probably going to also confirm the last and final card from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, which is the Shekinah. This card always makes me so happy and excited because we are the light. We truly are the light. It says, the presence of the Divine Feminine is the Shekinah, and it says, at the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. I feel like this is calling us to speak up to that. I mean, not speak up to it. This is calling us to, what word am I hearing? I heard a word. Accept that we are the light. To acknowledge that we really are the light. Like, I feel like some of us have been dimming our light. Some of us have been dimming it by merely not walking in our purpose, by merely not being brave enough to say it without feeling ashamed, or without feeling like we're doing something bad for giving ourselves props and kudos. Not in a stuck up way, but just because this is who we are. Somehow we're dimming from that because it may make somebody else feel bad, or it may make somebody feel like we're thinking too highly of ourselves. Whew, anyway. It says, when your soul selects her card, all life on earth, all consciousness is a part of her light and is therefore sacred. The metaphysical theory of immanence is that the divine presence is manifested into the material world. So there isn't actually any matter, whether organic or inorganic, that isn't also a part of the divine. The Shekinah is light that inhabits your body, your cells, and is in the cells of all the people and objects you see around you. She is also about pure experience. She is the message, the truth, that there is a light at the center of everything that happens to us, both the good and the bad. And the Shekinah is the reminder that we are not just this body, or this pain that we might be going through, or this confusing moment in our brief life. We are, in fact, light. We are molecules of heaven in human form. And right now, we can just know this. We can experience the light that we are. And that alone, that knowledge alone can be enough. That can be the miracle and the answer that we actually need. Not words or meaning, but simply and more profoundly, pure, radiant being. I am light. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. I just feel like this is about being okay with who we are. This is about being okay with our power, being okay with our divinity, and not backing down from that, not being shy about that. It says, take time to breathe out. That's exhaling, right? Didn't I mention something about exhaling? I said that once we made the decision to do what Spirit was telling us to do in order to create those protective boundaries, to protect our spirit and our energy, we were going to exhale. I feel like those three cards just confirmed that basically once we make that decision, oh God, once we make the decision to protect ourselves because of injustice and our convictions out of love, we're going to move into our authentic selves. And we're going to somehow show the world, be it our family, friends, or romantic partners, who we really are. And who we really are is divine and light. Glory. I also feel like this, whoever this person is for us, especially for those of us in romantic union, once we become ourselves for real, unashamed, okay, uninhibited, guys, we are going to look like just a ball of light to them. And either it's going to blind them and they're going to want to run away, or they know that they're going to have to glow up too in order to be around. That's what just came. Done. Moving on to the next thing. I pulled from the traditional tarot, asking what other energies were going on. The first card we got was, no, this ain't the, was this the first? No. I first saw, I want to say, the Knight of Cups, Lovers. Like, all three of these came out. They didn't fall out, but they all flipped over. So I took them all. But I think the first way I saw this was the Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. But I put this in front because this was the first card at the bottom. So I usually take this to be whatever card would have hit the table first. I put it in order even if I didn't see it that way. So this would be the first card, the Lovers. The next card is Knight of Cups. And the last and final card was the Queen of Cups. Like, I feel, and especially with it coming after these three cards that I feel have a message more so specifically tied to some type of relationship, I almost feel like these are the confirmation cards for these three. And these are the only two that had three come out. So I'm going to say that these are confirming this message here, which is letting me know even more that it's a union between a man and a woman, okay? That these are pertaining to. And so with that being said, I really do feel like basically after we take the steps that we need to, that were described with these three cards from the Divine Feminine, I feel like that relationship is going to change somehow. That relationship is going to change somehow. When I see this card, something just came to me. You know the Devil card? How it has the devil and then it's got the two people who are in bondage. I feel like this right here is an upgrade from that card. So in one of the other readings, we got the devil card. In one of the other rising readings, we had got the devil card. And I was talking about and it was a marriage specifically that was going to have to break up for a time so that they could heal themselves. Okay? I feel like this is the upgrade of that healing, that separation. This is the upgraded versions. With the sun being back there and an angel, I feel like that's all about the healing that needed to take place happening. There's not bondage here that's bringing them together. There is healing that's bringing them together. There's this divine knowledge that, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Hell, this is where I want to be. I'm not staying here because of codependency. I'm not staying here because of fear of being alone. I'm not staying here because I'm scared I can't do no better. I'm not staying here because of its familiar behavior, even though it hurts me. I feel that this means that both parties had to level up. And it was divinely orchestrated. That's number one. With the Lover's card, there's a lot of sexual passion. I'll get the understandings, but I just had to say what I heard first. I think that the lover, I believe there's going to be an apology that comes from an air sign who may have some heavy water influences. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, who might have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in their moon, maybe. Either in their moon or in their Venus, or the way that they communicate, at least. I feel like the sun sign will be maybe not the sun sign. Here, let me go. Give me a minute. I'm getting something. Okay, with the helmet being on the head, right? I feel like this person could think like a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius when it comes to mind. So that's communication. So their Mercury could be, I feel like it's the Mercury or Venus. Mercury or Venus could be in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, while their moon could be in a water sign like Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Does not have to be the case, but that's what I'm feeling heavily, okay? But this person, I feel like this is the man in the union. It doesn't have to be, though. It really doesn't have to be. But with it being a knight, and knight is traditionally a male figure, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the man could be coming back offering an apology. And I feel like it could happen quickly, but I'm only getting that from the wings on the helmet. Oh, and there are also wings on the shoes. So I feel like this person, like upon this change of events, like they may come to their senses very quickly. It don't, and that may cause them to take action quickly. Okay. But I feel like we got to still be careful. Make sure you know, just to try them. Whatever that may mean for you, try them in a loving manner. Because sometimes people will quickly change their tune just because they want things to go back to the way that they were, you know. And for us as light workers, we really do bring the light to people. And so people realize that once that light is gone. And when I say that, I mean we can really encourage people, build people up, and you don't miss something until it's gone. And so they could easily come back and be like, okay, I'm ready, and not be changed. So I'm just saying be mindful. Not saying that's what it's gonna be, but just be mindful. What I initially got was that the man is gonna come back and apologize, or he's gonna offer an apology, and he's going to come in humility, I believe. And I only say that because of the horse. The horse's head is bowed. And I feel like I've had dreams of horses before, and I realized that horses can deal with pride and ego. Or somebody being up on a high horse that usually deals with pride. So with this horse's head being bowed, I really do feel like this person is going to come back repentant. And then I also feel that we are going to be in the energy of the Queen of Cups. This is a creative spirit, a nurturing spirit. A woman who's probably very attractive because of her heart. One who's mature, handles the situation maturely with her relationships, family, friends, children. Let's get the understandings from the traditional tarot. And then we're going to keep it pushing. And then we're going to keep it pushing. Lovers. This is for the lover in you. Da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. The Lovers deals with sexuality, passion, choice, and uniting. So, hell yeah. I'm telling you. I don't know. Now listen, I don't know if this is going to, I feel like, I ain't going to lie, you guys. I really do feel like these two are confirming the other relationships that were being spoken of. But, you know, I just heard that this could be something else. Like, this could be a totally new union. Some of you guys could leave one union that was maybe a soulmate or karmic union that was supposed to teach you this lesson of loving anyway and fighting through and seeing something all the way through to the end. And then you could have a whole new person who is more on your level. Who's more on your level. But again, I really feel more so like this is somebody else's like situation upgrading for the better, changing for the better. And I mean an existing union, an existing relationship. And I feel like the person, like, don't get me wrong, the woman is making the choice too, because she's making the choice to be true to herself. She's making the choice to be true to the call on her life. So when she chooses to maybe walk away or to at least put some distance between her and this man so that she can level up like she's supposed to, then that's going to, in essence, cause her guide to also make a choice. And I believe that that choice is going to be to come back and offer his heart. Offer some emotion. In humility, though, you know. And I feel like she's going to accept that shit. She going to accept it. That's what I feel like that means. But let's go ahead. So somebody's going to make the choice to unite after that other stuff happens. Someone's going to make the choice to come together again. Whether it's again or for the first time. Is this a 5 or is that a 6? I think that's a 6. I almost got excited for no reason. Or is it a 4? What is the Lovers? Yeah, the Lovers is a 6. Okay. Just double checking. Whew, yeah, I feel like somebody's definitely going to make the choice to unite with you. Knight of Cups. Let's go get this. So the Knight of Cups deals with someone being romantic, somebody taking a chance, being risky, being adventurous, and following their heart, offering an invitation, or someone coming towards you, approaching you, or deciding to approach, deciding to travel to somebody. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Whoever this is, their heart is going to lead them in this choice. That's for sure. Their heart is going to lead them to come and give this invitation. And this time, instead of being intellectual and just thinking in their head about it, they're going to be coming from their heart, their emotions. I believe they will have really, like, even if they didn't want to, this choice that the woman makes is going to cause them to have to face that. Last and finally, the Queen of Cups is a person who is emotionally nurturing, intuitive, sensitive, honest, devoted, a person who is of service, loving, intelligent, a visionary person, one who is successful, who's in a place of happiness, pleasure, wisdom, and virtue, power. So this is a woman who's in her power. I would even say emotionally balanced, so she can give. A psychic person, intuitive person. Her feelings really help her make decisions. She also follows her heart. Very sensitive, very honest, loyal, one who is willing to serve from love. Also extremely intelligent, has big dreams. She's able to use her emotions and practicality to bring things to fruition. So she sees that as successful. That's a beautiful thing. And I feel like that's this lady's energy who has to level up, who has to protect her energy. This is what you grow into, the Queen of Cups. Beautiful thing. You know what? These three cards happen to be under the religious factors card, right? Right underneath. And what I feel Spirit just showed me is that you guys could have met because of religious doctrinal beliefs, but you were never coming together just because of that. This was a spiritual thing that y'all were coming together for. Y'all both have a spiritual mission. And that is what's going to be made more clear. Wow. Wow. Your religious upbringing, your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Every time since the first time I ever read that, I felt like religious upbringing is totally different from your spiritual path. Sometimes they can be in alignment and together, but most times they're not. Like the religious upbringing is just like the core, it's the first steps, the introduction. But your spiritual path is what you graduate to, right? Yep, that's the vibe I get. So anyways, let's move on. This already been a long reading. I do apologize, but let me take my apology back. I'm not sorry. I'm really not. Moving on. I asked for some words from the Encouraging Words of Jesus deck, and I got two cards that flew out of this deck as well. The first one said, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, remove, hence to a yonder place, and it shall remove. When I think about it, what I just heard is an obstacle. You are going to, whatever obstacle you could be facing for whatever reason, you know what? Here we go. Us choosing to make that hard decision to protect our energy, for like I said, for some of us, that's going to mean walking away from someone. Not like you're totally walking away from them, but your walking away is going to be setting boundaries and creating boundaries for yourself with them, right? That they're going to have to respect. Moving on, once you decide to do that, remember, right up underneath that was these three cards where you're taking back your power. You're doing this out of love. You're talking about some injustice that, has actually made you very angry. It's made you be passive aggressive. It's made you operate in some low vibrational shit that you don't want to. So you're leveling up. Spirit is saying for you to level up, and you're being obedient. Your obedience and your choice to speak up, not only with your words, but also in your actions, makes you an agent of change. Some of you guys could also be seeing a lot of fives. I know I am. See them all the time. You leveling up and doing what you needed to do is you're going to be acting finally on what you always wanted, on who you're going to be being true to yourself. And as a direct result of you making a choice to protect yourself and be true to yourself for the first time, or for the first time in a long time, that is going to lead you to your glory. That is going to lead you to more of your light. That's going to lead you to stand in your power and glory. And this is also going to be how your person begins to see you in time, which is going to lead to their change, to their healing, to their having to get in touch to figure out who the hell you are to them. And they're going to, after that time, however long that may take, could be 6 months, I don't know. But however long it takes, right? They're going to come back. And they're going to choose to be with you. Not because they need you or not because they look at you like, oh, you got to do this for me. No, they're going to be healed. Some healing is going to take place. And you guys will choose to be together from a healthy space as opposed to what you guys were in before. That space of the devil. Your relationship will be upgraded as a result. That man, I really feel like it's a guy, but it may be a woman. So take whatever resonates with you. That's what it is. Your partner is going to come back, and they're going to come back in humility, offering, I believe, an apology as well as their heart to you in a way that they had not before. Instead of just thinking with their head, they're going to finally be thinking with their heart. And you being the queen that you've always been, you're going to respond to that with love. You're going to see it as success. I also feel like you're going to be them bossed up. You're going to be walking in that power and authority that you've always known you had. And they're going to see you in this Queen of Cups energy as well. And that's very attractive to them, I feel. Moving on. So, because of you making the decisions that you needed to, which could have been your obstacle as well, your faith has moved that mountain. Your faith has caused you to move that obstacle out of the way. And it's been moved. Remember, I want to say segment was talking about breaking patterns that actually need to end. That's what's happening. That's what this mountain is. Destructive behavioral patterns that some of us ladies have been in for a very long time. Now, again, this can apply to men and women, but I'm speaking to my sisters now because that's what I felt the need to say. But if you're a man and this resonates, take it. Because it's yours too. Some of us have been operating in destructive behavioral patterns, especially when it comes to our love lives, settling, dimming our light to be with someone. And even if you weren't dimming your light, you were subjecting yourself to mistreatment, emotional abuse, all types of shit, just because you wanted to be with someone. Well, that is coming to an end, and that has happened because of your faith, and that mountain is going to be removed. Hallelujah. That's Matthew 17:20. The other thing that came out was watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. That is Matthew 26:41. I felt like those cards went together, and let me tell you what I felt like. I feel like some kind of, I don't know, something could come up where you could be tempted to maybe not make the move that you need to make to protect your energy. So I feel that we might need to stay in some constant prayer about what direction to take and what to do. Or that while you're in that space of healing yourself and getting calm and clear and everything, and you minding your own business, becoming more of who you are, somebody else is going to find that attractive. Somebody else is going to see this Shekinah, see that glory, and they're going to think, oh, you fine, right? But you might have to guard yourself from that. Watch and pray so that you do not fall into temptation. That may not be the only thing that this is about, but because I feel like this is a relationship reading, y'all, mostly, I feel like that relationship part then took over. I'm just saying, watch and pray so that you don't fall into temptation. And I feel that temptation would be familiar patterns. Don't do the same thing that you've always been doing. I just heard my husband, baby. I know my baby here. Let me see. Let me see if he wrote me back. I'll be right back, you guys. Denon, no. Baby! Baby? Y'all, I think somebody downstairs, and I think it's him, but he's trying to be quiet. But anyway, okay, what I was going to say was, yeah, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. I feel like temptation is going to be anything that Spirit did not instruct you to do. Again, I think it also will be the temptation to revert back to what is familiar. what is comfortable. And that's in the way that you choose people. That's in the way that you choose friends, the way that you choose relationships, the way that you choose work, jobs. But you guys know what that could mean for you. And if you don't, I feel like watch and pray. That's talking about asking, seek the Most High about what it is that you could be tempted to fall into. What is this temptation? If you're not sure about what it is already, I feel like most people who might come across this, you'll know. But even if you don't, ask the Most High. And I feel like Spirit will reveal it to you. The next card that came out of the deck, because this is long, guys, but I knew it was going to be a long one. It was a lot of energies. Crystal, from the Crystal Oracle deck, we have chirorite, and this is like the second or third time this has come out in a reading, and it is the virtues that come from this crystal are acceptance, generosity, clarity, and inner vision. Chirorite is a highly spiritual crystal that helps awaken higher wisdom. So I kind of feel like that's already the answer to the watch and pray, so that you don't fall into temptation. I feel like we're going to have to definitely have a lot of time where we can meditate and pray, and where we can pray, ask our questions, and then meditate, listen for the answers for them, so that we can get that wisdom and that clarity, that higher perspective, like being like that eagle, which is what we need. You are being asked to accept the current events and bring your focus within. All will become clear through meditation. This is a time for reflection and contemplation, a time to allow your inner wisdom to guide you. Hello. This is just confirmation. Confirmation of the angel therapy and visualizing success. It's just confirmation. Go inside. You will realize that there is nothing that you need to change and that all is as it should be. Trust. Even though the current flow of events is confusing, there is a divine order to the madness. It is only through love and acceptance that the divine order can be seen. You will be touched by someone's generosity in the next few days. Now, to me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm hearing that this could come across as contradicting or as conflicting with some of the other information that we've heard. But I kind of don't feel like it is. Like, this is what I think. Some of us could have been wondering whether or not we made the right decision with being with the not family, but with the friends maybe, or the romantic partner that we are with. We could be questioning it. Like, if you're with someone at this present moment, right? And what I feel like Spirit is saying is like, no, you're in the right place at the right time, and there's a divine reason that you are here. Which is probably the reason why, even though why I kept feeling the need, like, even if you're in a committed to say, I kept feeling the need to say, even if you are in a committed union and you have been instructed maybe to separate yourself for a time so that you can receive clarity, so that you can create healthy boundaries for yourself, that you still need to do that. Doing those things does not mean that you guys don't love the person or that you're not going to be together. But this still could be what you have to do. This could be all a part of the divine process that's being mentioned in this particular card. You see what I'm saying? Remember how this energy says, and I feel like it was confirming these three cards, that a change is going to take place in the union. But the change actually doesn't seem like it's going to take place until somebody chooses to operate according to the obedience of their spirit. It looks like it's going to be the lady that does this. And then the man is going to come following suit in obedience to spirit. So again, it's not saying, I don't feel like it's contradictory. Like, part of me thought it could come across that way, but no. Like, if some of you guys have been questioning whether or not this person is for you, I believe that this card is saying yes, as far as you're in the right place at the right time. And there is a divine reason. Even if that divine reason is to show you how to speak up for yourself and to be true to you. Maybe that's something that you have literally struggled with, and this relationship is being used to help you overcome and move that mountain out of the way. And that will be done because it's already been mentioned. And the temptation could be that you over here thinking that this person ain't the one for you, when in fact they are. They're being used right now to help you elevate. And then once you elevate, they too are going to elevate. Which would still in essence mean, yes, they are for you. It's just some things had to be worked out before both of you elevated, right? And the last and final card was from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and it says Awakening. I was so happy. I feel like this could be the energy for everybody involved in this particular reading. There is an awakening happening. And I think if you're in a party, if you're in a union, even if there's a third party situation, like even if there are three people, a love triangle, all of you guys are having to go through an awakening process. Even if all three of you do not remain together, or you do, whatever the case may be, it's still all part of an awakening process. It's spiritual what's happening here. Okay, so I'm going to get that understanding real quick and read it to you guys, and then I'm going to give my little 2-3 cents. And then that will be the end of this particular reading. I thank you for anybody who made it this far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thank you, the Spirit, for giving me all the things to say. I am always grateful and honored. So let's get to it. Awakening. It says energetic upgrades and a new way of being. So that means like a new life. That means different patterns, right? And remember, segment was talking about the end of destructive patterns. I feel like what's awakening is our new life, our higher version of being. And now it's going to be introducing new patterns, new ways of being that I feel are more healthy, more in tune and in alignment with what our spiritual calling and purposes are, guys. That's good news. Oh my God. It's almost like this was a trial. This was a period of purification. This was a boot camp. We had to go through all these. We had to go through every bit of this and every feeling and every emotion that we felt for us to upgrade. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. Integration deals with practical application of our spiritual information. Oh my God. Did that rhyme, guys? Didn't that sound so profound? I know that was spirit, baby. Let's see if we can say that again. Integration is practical application of spiritual information. Go on, Spirit. You's a bad. Anyway, it says you are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing. This is not my bookmark. This is my bookmark. I'm going to look at it in a little while. It says, things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you are here, why you incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with like soul, aka like-minded people, while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams because you are remembering and your soul gifts are emerging. During this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of these creations into the world. Or perhaps you are being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Oh my gosh. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following. Work your light activation. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Most High and the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine, and I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. Y'all, I kid y'all not. I ain't say all of this, but I literally told the universe to have its way with me, that I open up myself to do its will, and that whatever way that may take shape and form, I'm ready for that, and I want to be open to it. I literally did that like a few days ago. How on point is this? And then we get the 6 of Spades as my bookmark. So let me see what that has something to do with. 6 of Spades usually reminds me of the 6 of Swords, which the 6 of Swords can deal with, accepting help from other people. It can deal with traveling or moving away. It can also, for some people, deal with love. So let's see what it talks about. Let's see what the Illumin Tarot deck says about the 6 of Spades. Yep. 6 of Spades is identified as leaving worries behind and a transition. Transition and change are one in the same. Baby, Spirit confirmed this through and through. Through and through. I am done. It's already been too long. I love you guys with the love of the Most High. Peace, love, and light to you all. Shalom.